The great emperor unleashed a terrifying burst of power, crushing the rocks around him into dust. With a hint of surprise, he muttered, "You've actually evolved. How unexpected." His eyes narrowed, his expression darkening. "This time, I will completely destroy you." Xiaoling said nothing, she charged straight toward him. A deafening explosion erupted as their spiritual powers, one golden, one blue, collided. The shockwave spread outward, splitting the earth beneath them into countless cracks. The great emperor's eyes flashed coldly, he snorted disdainfully. Xiaoling condensed her spiritual power into a blazing flame sword and, without hesitation, swung it through his body. The great emperor's eyes widened in shock as his form was split cleanly in two. Boom! A golden surge of spiritual energy swept across the forest, shaking the land violently. White smoke billowed into the air as both the great emperor's body and the ground beneath him were split in half by the fiery blade. Before the dust could settle, a swirling vortex appeared between the two halves of his body. When it dissipated, two massive fire-type beasts emerged. Twin flame hounds summoned by Xiaoling standing between them, she controlled their movements with precise spiritual command. In the next instant, the two flame hounds split off, each charging toward one half of the great emperor's body. He reacted quickly, raising his hands to block their assault. Flames burst out violently, and he felt the intense burning pain searing his flesh. Too hot. Am I being burned alive? He gasped, disbelief twisting his face. The twin flamehounds pressed in, pinning him down as their fiery attacks detonated. Boom! A powerful wave of spiritual energy erupted outward. The great emperor shot upward, engulfed in thick clouds of smoke and flame. Xiaoling lifted her hand once more, summoning countless luminous butterflies that danced around her. At her command, they surged forward like a storm, each one exploding near the great emperor like celestial fireworks of destruction. The chain of explosions rocked the sky. From atop the pink dragon, Golden Monkey watched in awe. "She's so strong," he breathed. But at the heart of the explosion, the great emperor tore through the smoke, rushing forward with fury. His arm transformed into a mass of writhing roots and tendrils, which lashed toward Xiaoling. In an instant, countless tendrils pierced through her body. His gigantic arm expanded, twisting violently as it tore her form apart. When he withdrew his hand, Xiaoling's body had been ripped cleanly in two. The great emperor's face turned grim. With a roar, he launched another devastating attack. Boom! His colossal hand slammed into her, hurling her body high into the air before it crashed into the ground, splitting the earth into massive fissures. The next moment, Xiaoling's body burst into molten lava that shot skyward. Her form expanded, growing to a colossal size, blazing with volcanic fury. Locking eyes with the great emperor before her, Xiaoling swung her molten arm downward, trying to seize him in her grasp. The great emperor quickly summoned a protective barrier sphere that enveloped his entire body. He spoke coldly. "At last, I understand why you've become so powerful. No wonder I felt the life force of this planet weakening day by day. It's because you've been absorbing its strength." As soon as his words fell, he struck, shattering Xiaoling's body in an instant. But then, the remaining fragments of Xiaoling's body began to move, swirling and encircling the great emperor. Sensing their presence, the great emperor turned sharply, startled. Behind him, two more clones of Xiaoling appeared. Gradually, countless clones were formed, surrounding him from every direction before charging wildly toward the great emperor, who was floating in midair. The great emperor turned his head in shock as the countless clones transformed into a vast sea of molten lava, swallowing him whole. The boiling lava surged violently, rolling layer upon layer like the roaring waves of an angry ocean. It swept across the landscape below, melting and reshaping everything in its path until only a small island remained. Then, from within the molten sea, a hand suddenly rose and clutched the edge of the island. Xiaoling pulled herself up from the lava, gasping heavily, her body trembling with exhaustion. Her face was pale, sweat dripping down her cheeks as she looked forward with weary eyes. Just then, a violent tremor erupted around her. The molten sea roared once more. Xiaoling gritted her teeth. From within the lava, the great emperor reemerged unscathed, descending from the sky onto the small island right before her. He looked at Xiaoling and said coldly, "You're not completely useless, it seems." As he spoke, a surge of spiritual energy burst from his hand, wrapping around Xiaoling. Caught off guard, she screamed, "Ah!" The great emperor's tentacles quickly coiled around her, lifting her high into the air. In a threatening tone, he said, "I'll give you a chance. Become my servant." With that, he grabbed Xiaoling's head with one hand. His crimson spiritual power erupted, swirling around her body as a pillar of blazing energy shot up into the sky. Xiaoling screamed in agony, "H.